51. This episode's brought to you by StackGwop.com. This episode's also brought to you by Anchor. And most formally brought to you by, this episode's brought to you by China. Since everything's made in motherfucking China. All these pieces of equipment that I'm using isn't made in China. All your shoes is made in China. All your fucking fabrics and child labor fucking shit is made in China. My iPhone's made in fucking China. You bitch ass motherfuckers. Social justice bitch ass niggas. I'm gonna get to you bitch ass niggas later when we talk about LeBron in China. I'm hot right now.
I can see that. I don't think you're done though. Please continue.
Listen. People have selective social justice warrior tendencies. They want to get mad for no reason. Oh, why can't we be mad about what's going on in Hong Kong and China via iPhone, via child labor on my Jordans and my Nikes? Now I want to care. No one gives a like. It's stupid as fuck, man. It pisses me off. They don't understand what's really at stake when you're doing business, and your employer has 30% of its revenue in China, and the growth of the NBA is via China. They're trying to go worldwide. They're trying to go international. So they have their shit building in China. Why would they sever ties and make comments on the way their communist government operates when they know their communist government operates this way? It doesn't stop us from doing trade throughout any branch in government. Like, that's why when Trump made his fucking nonsensical fucking remarks about the NBA not being, it's like, come on, Trump, you're doing business with China every fucking day. Like, shut the fuck up. You're not talking about the way they run the way they govern their country. They're a superpower. There's 3 superpowers in the world. There's U.S., there's Russia, there's China. You're not trying to piss off Russia and China and go to war with them for no reason and sacrifice. Like, it's just stupid. It's
That's true, but by that notion, because we're getting what we want, we should keep a blind eye to how their people are treated? Is that what you're saying?
That is exactly what I'm saying. Because they're a communist country. Everybody's good with the goods that they have. They're good with their iPhone. Listen.
But is the people in China okay?
The people in China, in mainland China, have always been under the same government and the same structure. It's just Hong Kong fighting against what China's doing to Hong Kong and trying to basically breach their treaty that they had with Britain, because the British colonized Hong Kong, and they had the 50-year treaty is done in like 2040 something, basically for them to remain a free nation, their own sovereign nation. So China's trying to say, fuck all that shit, you're part of us, you're going to be governed the same way, you can't have your freedom and your liberty. That's what this is about. NBA has huge stakes in China. They know that going in. They already know the Hong Kong and China shit going in. They have business ties with them. You're not going to eradicate 30% of the NBA revenue and destroy the viewership. And listen, and when people talk about, oh, LeBron's selling out, how the fuck? So he's not going to, so, okay, you can't help broke people being one of them. He has to be a billionaire to empower all the black community in America. The Chinese people in China, in Hong Kong, even in America, they don't give a fuck about the black problem. Why the fuck do they?
Okay, but here's
ridiculous.
My question. What is it that any of us can do to change their system?
Not a goddamn thing. The only thing you could do is tweet like a stupid social justice warrior and fuck up your bag that you already have in China.
Well, I think for that very reason,
so what the fuck you talking for?
For that being the argument, then I think I agree with you. If you can't do anything about it, why speak on the issue?
That's the thing.
It's only causing more turmoil.
We're not going to start war with China. Stop their child labor. Stop their communist government. We're not going to change them to a democratic government. We're not going to do none of that. So when we talk about, oh, we have to stand with Hong Kong, for what? To fuck up 30% of the NBA revenue? For what? To do nothing? It's just like sometimes when LeBron said it was uneducated, it was ill-advised, like he assumed that. It's like, what else does he have to say? What else does he have to assume other than that? Because it's clear you're clearly uneducated if you don't think China's going to say fuck you and we're going to stop your bag if you're trying to fuck with the way we govern shit.
I just think it comes down to people just liking to argue for argument's sake, because none of those people arguing would stand up because they all are free to tweet. Why haven't I seen a tweet from them?
People aren't going to fuck up their bag and their job. They're
That's
not
what I'm saying.
They're not going to talk about.
But everybody has access to tweeting and saying whatever they want to stand up for whomever. Why aren't those people tweeting for themselves? That's my question. everybody wants somebody else to do it. Oh, well, if that were me, I would do it. So then do it yourself.
No, this is the thing. They can do it themselves, but them tweeting random stuff has no repercussions. It has no impact of anything. It's just irrelevant random tweets that go into the airspace. Some of the
people that are disagree with LeBron, and they would have some impact on it. Like, for instance, who was saying
Max Kellerman.
Exactly.
But Stephen A put him in his fucking place because he's not going to talk out against the things on ESPN. He's not going to cuss on national television because you're not allowed to. He's not going to do the things that you're not allowed to just to do it, just to prove a point. The same way he's asking other people to do it and try to say they sell out. He's not going to say certain things on ESPN, Walt Disney Airways, because he wants to be a social justice warrior the same way. He's going to say it in a different clever way. He's going to code his words. He's going to do all sorts of stuff, and no one's going to call him out. So it's like, it's ridiculous. It's like, I don't know, man. Sometimes people expect certain things. It's like, why would LeBron and the NBA fuck up their bag so they can't empower their own community? No one gives a fuck about the slave trade in Libya. No one cares about the fucking hundreds of thousands of black people that are still slaves. And we don't care about that going on, but we have to, like, it's just like, it's selective caring. And then a lot of the caring that they want people to do, the other community doesn't give a fuck about them. Mm-hmm. No one gives a fuck about the shit that's going on in unarmed black men getting shot by police. No one cares that white girl Amber Geyer only got 10 years for killing a black man after invading his fucking apartment. Oh, I thought it was mine. How stupid are you? Like, that excuse is the dumbest thing in the world. There's no way I'm walking into someone, and then I hear all the other people talking, oh, I've walked into other people's apartments thinking it was mine before. And how long did it take you to figure out it wasn't yours? Like, how many seconds? Milliseconds.
0.02.
And it's like, it's ridiculous, man. The way people make excuses, that judge hugging this girl, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that part got me. That's somebody's life that's now gone, but whatever. I feel like you have a lot to get off your shoulders, and a lot of bones to pick.
Listen, that China stuff, it's just infuriating. They just don't understand that 17% of the NBA's revenue last year was in China alone. 30% of the revenue for the next 5 years is going to come from China. In 2016-2017 finals, there was the NBA finals had an average of 20 point something. I can't remember the exact thing. Million viewers in the United States. The same exact amount in China, plus 200 million plus were watching it via like iPhones and replays and YouTube and shit, because the social networking and the coverage of NBA is huge in China, and the population's way bigger in China. They're not trying to fumble that bag. The NBA's main focus is on growth globally. So people have to understand why people get paid so much. Buddy Hield just signed a 4-year extension for $94 million. Buddy Hield. It's like, yeah, Buddy Hield's a good player, but see the type of bags these motherfuckers is getting now? It's like, why would you go fuck that up because you want to say stand with Hong Kong and actually do nothing? The tweets do nothing. It's stupid. And people want to stand up, oh, why can't he show his support? For what? To fuck up a bag for what reason? Honestly, I don't know, man. I feel like people are so illogical nowadays. It's like, I just don't understand. Even for someone as smart as Max Kellerman to not see the bigger point. And then I feel like at the end, he probably realized that LeBron doesn't care about every community, just his own. That's why he talked about, his school. He's focused on his school and the kids graduating and getting these young black inner city kids an opportunity. And what the fuck is wrong with that? What the fuck is wrong with caring about your people and making sure that they're empowered and making sure they have a future? You can't help everybody.
I agree.
You can't help everybody.
To me, he wasn't really addressing the issue. I just think he was just saying it was just something that he shouldn't have said. I don't think he was saying whether he agreed or he didn't agree. It was just that person.
But that's
shouldn't
the point.
Have said.
But that's the thing. You're excoriating. Of course, at the end of the day, you want people to be free. That's why when Max Kellerman said that comment, it's like, obviously, you want Hong Kong to be free. You don't want people to fucking be taken advantage of. You don't want fucking slave trade. You don't want child labor. You don't want none of that shit. Mm-hmm. The shit exists already, and nobody's standing up for that shit because they're benefiting off of it. No one wants to stand up for the shit that they benefit off of. And that's why when they're trying to get at like the NBA and LeBron for not stand, like, it's just like, it's ridiculous. They're benefiting off of it. They're able to empower their own communities and do stuff off of the money. You can't help broke people being one of them. You just can't. And it's ridiculous. They have so much money invested in China. But let me save some of the anger for Alan Foster, because that's my next topic.
What's going on with Alan Foster?
Alan Foster is, if I'm not, every time I talk about Alan Foster, I try to explain who the fuck he is. If you don't know who he is, whatever. Alan Foster starting up his own YouTube channel now, his own website. He's trying to represent him. He's trying to get his own story out of there because he doesn't want the media
is that Joe Rogan's friend that has the conspiracy theories?
No, whoa. Alan Foster is Big Baller Brand member. He was the partner with
yes, I know,
LeVar Ball. He was like the main business guy. Yeah. So basically he's trying to give out these business courses and these type of educational things on his website, and these courses that cost like $5,000, and these all sorts of shit. His son, his daughter, all of them are trying to be on that same hustler shit, that motivational speaker shit. And he's trying to say that, the Big Baller Brand and the LeVar Ball, these guys are lying and they're spinning stories. And he goes on and talks about Lonzo's injury and tries to basically deflect off of, the main shit that he did because he was stealing money. Basically, this guy is being sued, and he's trying to sue LeVar Ball in reaction, and now he's trying to put out his message in the media, and he's trying to control his own message. He's trying to have his own platform to speak his own voice. So when people like YouTubers or people like me actually pick up the story and spread it even further than LeVar Ball and Big Baller Brand and the remaining people, most people don't really talk about it. It's just really the media. LeVar Ball doesn't even talk about it at this point. But basically, we're spreading the real news, and he's trying to kind of combat it with his fake story and his fake take on stuff. Still trying to hustle people, trying to get people to invest in his business and his little fucking $5,000 camps for fucking business training and all that bullshit from a fraud. Why would you do that? Like, you've been convicted for so many different cases. You've served time in jail for fraud. Like, you scammed Big Ball. You have an ongoing case. Why would anybody put money into that? You have an ongoing case for fraud. You're being sued for robbing a business. Why would we put our business in your hand?
Do you think anyone is actually going to purchase that? Like, let's be real.
Who knows if he's making money? I don't even know how much views he gets. I see more coverage of his shit from YouTubers. Things,
but it doesn't mean that they're going to actually buy and purchase and indulge.
Well, if you're consistently watching somebody's page, you're kind of buying into their message, unless you're going there just to extract information to report on it.
There's a market for everyone. There's a part of the market that people just watch and don't purchase anything. Those people do nothing for anything. But I'm a part of that market.
But you're not going to go to his website and scroll through his packages if you're not going to buy anything.
No, but what I'm saying is his YouTube reach, even if people are watching him on YouTube, I don't think it's going any farther than that, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get that. I think it's just people looking to see what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, just to hear what's going on. Just to hear more drama. Yeah. But to actually get a click into your website and for somebody to actually make a purchase, I don't think that that's going far. You're already kind of sketchy. People heard that you took millions. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
The shoes sucked.
Yeah, Lonzo Ball had to switch shoes every quarter. That's not professional shoes. That's worse.
And then what carried him was LeVar Ball's mouth. It really didn't have anything to do with him. All he had to do was sustain the business while LeVar spoke.
Well, there was
and
unpaid
he couldn't
players.
even do that.
There was unpaid players at a certain point in the season.
But
of
was
the
that
JBA
not his job?
To make sure all the players were paid and all the
but
business was handled. But to
apply also a realistic approach to the plan. You guys made a plan, so this is what you said you were going to do. Why is it that you can't do it? That was all on him.
Yeah.
He was like the business.
He fucked up most of it. Basically, when it comes to promoting and marketing, LeVar Ball did a better job than anybody's ever done in recent history when it comes to promoting a business. The way their name got out was ridiculous. They didn't execute any of the plans properly. They were getting called out on TV shows like by Shannon Sharp and certain folks for not getting their shoes on time, and then JBA players were left unpaid and doing interviews from no-name brand YouTubers in their mom's basement and shit like that was happening because their business wasn't handled right. They had hundreds of people calling, complaining that they didn't get their shit, and they didn't have thousands of sales to be like, okay, these are just, or millions of sales for them to be like, oh, it's just a few scattered people. Like, literally, like, a large percentage of their people weren't getting their shit properly. And it's like, It's just bad business from Alan Foster. So it's like, why would anybody take business advice from him? I hate these motherfucking motivational speakers and these people that give advice about empty shit.
They're the biggest con artists ever.
Snake skill.
Hey, but if you can and you can milk people of their money, why not?
Yeah.
Like at that point, you're just an idiot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ooh.
Pretty much. All right.
Babes. So I know I'm not on camera or anything, but I still have a topic that I still want to discuss.
Okay. You can discuss the topic, but let me just make sure that I'm done with the things that I'm angry about before I, waste the steam of anger.
Okay, fair.
You know what? I'm not angry anymore, but can I just get through these topics before? Okay. Eddie Murphy. Because I'm still enraged a little bit, so let me talk about Eddie Murphy. He's planning his new stand-up special. He's doing his tour runs, his promo runs around places, speaking to different people, talking about his upcoming thing. He's doing an apology tour, pretty much. He's made apologies for the things he said in his past stand-up, which I feel is outrageous. Why the fuck are you apologizing for your stand-up comedy? Why are you apologizing for jokes? Because the way how the world is now, they're more acceptable to certain things that you were kind of clowning. They were jokes. It doesn't fucking matter. If you were saying fag or you were saying faggot or...
We've already been through this before.
With Eddie Murphy?
No, with Kevin Hart even.
That was a joke on Twitter, but him...
It doesn't matter.
Apologizing for a stand... When you say stuff on Twitter, things get taken out of context. Is it a joke? You're a comedian. Is everything you say a joke? And you can't really hide behind the guise of that.
Is it only black comedians doing this? Are there no white comedians back in the day that said certain things?
Oh, of course. They said stuff, but they're not apologizing for it. I don't know why in the fuck Eddie Murphy's apologizing for anything. For me, the main thing is I've heard people report on it. I've read articles about it. I've never heard it out of his mouth actually apologizing, but I just hope he doesn't, because it's not a good look for stand-up comedy. It's like, why would you ever apologize for a joke? It's a joke. It's supposed to be funny. Ha ha ha. If you don't like it, you're sensitive about it, fuck out of here.
I totally understand what you're saying, that by him apologizing, it definitely demeans comedy, because that's what it's about. It's supposed to bring people together with inappropriate jokes or whatever the joke is. That's what it's for.
It could be inappropriate, appropriate,
by that
low-hanging fruit. It doesn't matter.
Be apologizing.
No.
Left, right, and center.
No, don't apologize for any fucking joke. It's a joke. Like, I just don't understand why people will apologize. Like, I don't know. It's like, if he says anything offensive in his new stand-up, is he supposed to apologize for it? Like, Dave Chappelle said everything and anything in his last stand-up. Andrew Schultz says anything he can when he gets on stage anywhere. So it's like, why are you apologizing for humor, for comedy? That's ridiculous. I don't like that. It sets a bad standard for comedians if you're going to apologize for the shit that you say. It's like, I ain't apologizing for any of the rap shit. I said the most wild. I was listening to my oldest shit, like my old shit in the past, my rap shit. And I was listening to the stuff, and the shit I said was absolutely wild. But most of it's hyperbole, and it's just rap shit. Would I ever take it back? Fuck no. I don't give a fuck. Okay.
But what if you feel differently?
I feel differently about a lot of the stuff that I said. Like, I don't view things the same ways, but I'm not taking it back. It's been said. That's the way I was feeling at that point in time. It's a lyric.
Even if it was wrong.
A lot of the stuff is lyrics. It's not even real shit. I talk about shit that I never did. So it's like...
Okay. That's fair.
I don't know.
It's like that whole freedom of speech is kind of getting kind of blurred. Do we really have freedom of speech?
I feel like freedom of expression, which Canada has, we don't really have freedom of speech. We have freedom of expression. I feel like that more than freedom of speech is being blurred, because freedom of speech is actually just speaking and just, going against. Yeah. I think it's more against the government, more about your speech against the government without being prosecuted. Freedom of expression is more of like, I feel like it's more of your art now. It's being more infringed on. Your expression, your art is taking literal or taking in a certain way where it's being judged in its art. Mm-hmm. Whether it be stand-up, whether it be rap, whether it be a fucking, podcast, it's still art. Some sort of art. It's some sort of, well, a podcast not as much, but stand-up and, rap's definitely art. All right, so we can get to your topics if you want to talk about it. I'm pretty much done with my rants right now.
Why is it that I totally forgot my topic?
Really?
Yeah.
You know who I feel sorry for?
Who?
Liangelo Ball.
Why would you ever feel sorry for greatness?
Liangelo Ball.
Oh, my
Not
bad.
LaMelo Ball.
Oh.
Not Lonzo Ball.
Oh, the failure child. Oh
See that's what
no.
I'm saying. Like the failure child. That's what he's looked at. Like
Oh jeez.
I just feel like he wasn't marketed right. I feel like he should have nursed his injuries and played in some Euroball. Play overseas. Do something.
Don't you think that the whole China incident is what killed his whole career? It's like people wanted a reason not to like you because of your father. Then you gave them the reason. And now it's like you won't ever revive yourself from that, I feel.
The China incident definitely derailed Liangelo Ball's career, but he was a backup player for UCLA anyway. He wasn't getting that starting role, so he would have had to play multiple years in college.
Okay.
But really and truly, that China thing derailed their entire, not even just LeMelo Ball, because although he was taken out of high school, that high school, the Chino Hills High School, because LeVar didn't get along with the coach, I know his path would have been different. Actually, I can't say that. Let me stop myself because of the shoes.
Okay.
All the endorsements and stuff in the college amateurism rules. LaMelo Ball was screwed in the first. Like his path wasn't affected by Liangelo.
But here's the thing.
Let me take that
okay,
back.
I totally understand what you're saying. But now, what's the young one's name? The one that LaMelo. Okay, so now if LaMelo was Liangelo in that same point in his life, would the outcome still be the same?
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. If LaMelo was in UCLA in his first year in college and he got that China situation, it's like, who the fuck cares? Go play somewhere else for the rest of the year and then you're in the NBA, because the talent disparity is so different. Like, right now, LaMelo's projected to be a top 5 pick. He's playing in the NBL in Australia. He's playing with former NBA players such as Aaron Brooks and that other guy, Boone. I can't remember his first name right now. Such a no-name brand. Josh Boone. Is it Josh Boone? Fuck, can't remember. Sucks, my bad. Yeah, he's playing with former NBA players in the NBL, so he's playing with some real competition out there. So when he gets drafted, he's good. If Liangelo Ball was good like that, he would be in the NBL too. Why is he not there right now? That's why I'm saying, I'm like, yo, he's a knockdown shooter. He can work on his defense. He could be a 3-and-D type of guy if he was just put in the right system and he had the same drive and passion as. I just don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with that guy. It's sad.
Well, okay, honestly, that's something we also need to understand, is that not all your kids are going to end up like, on the exact path that they're going to want to be on. I'm hoping that doesn't sound too negative, but to have 2 out of 3 kids follow their dream and get to it, that's pretty good.
He was in commercials with Trae Young for One and Done. Trae Young was like second runner-up for Rookie of the Year, one of the young talents in the NBA that we're looking out for this season, and he was in a commercial with this guy, and he didn't even get drafted. So it's like, it's just for me, it's just such a terrible look, and it's like you see. So
what do you think it was that, like, you were on the trail of getting there?
He's not,
but he's always been consistently that. So, but yet he got all these commercials, and he was going. It seemed like he was going on an uphill.
He got the commercial because of LeVar's business savvy and LeVar's marketing.
So it had nothing to do with his talent.
He was not a McDonald's All-American. He was just overlooked from time. Even he had the stats and he had the numbers. They just didn't look at him as an NBA talent. They looked at him and they felt like he didn't have everything it took to be an NBA player. And for him to be a backup player in his first season, never actually get to play out a season in UCLA or in college basketball, period, end up playing in the JBA with lesser talent, then not even going overseas, never making an NBA roster for a G League team or anything. It's just like there's not much of a resume for them to look at him. So it's kind of rough. Okay, so you got your topic ready now? Yeah. You good?
Yeah. So I guess what really irritated me now is basketball-wise, the season finale, where OG claimed that her issue with the whole group was due to colorism. And I think what irritated me, also a fellow dark skin, and me watching it objectively, just seeing it on the screen, I don't think it was a colorism thing. I think she made it into that.
Malaysia, Brandy,
Brandy's no longer on it.
But I'm just saying she was part of the cast at
well,
one
she
point.
she did get kicked off by whatever. Yes.
How many dark-skinned girls have been on the cast?
And that one girl that we like that reminds us of Ashley. I forgot her name. That is the worst.
Yeah, she's one of the newer ones.
Yeah,
she's one that has problems with that Asian girl that's with Byron
That
Scott.
was nowhere to be found on the reunion.
Why can't I remember her name? She wasn't on the reunion?
The Asian girl?
The Asian
no.
girl. Okay,
she was not. So, anyways, beyond that, it was with Shawnee. She said that basically Shawnee had a colorism issue because everyone displayed aggression issues. One picked up a table, one did this. So why is it that she's the one that has to go into another room? So she felt very offended, and she thought it was due to her skin color and because of how dark she was as to why they were afraid of her.
But she's saying that with other dark-skinned women sitting on the panel.
Yes.
So
yes.
how does that
there were
make
three
sense?
other dark-skinned women.
She's an ex-football player that always threatens to break people and
she's
punch them in the face.
She's a professional and street fighter.
And she always says that I'm a trained professional fighter. I'm da-da-da-da-da. And it's
I will break your jaw.
She says that shit all the time, so she comes off aggressive. And for her to
like
say,
nobody's sending threats. Like if you happen to get into an altercation, they get into an altercation. But there's no premeditated ones where I'm going to do this. I'm going to punch you in your throat.
Is that why she's saying it's a colorism issue, or is it because they keep calling her ugly? She's saying it's a colorism issue.
Okay, see, so
because ugly and skin complexion is not
two different arguments.
There's no correlation or any type of thing where you can relate the two, because you have.
I'm gonna be honest with you. She was putting people in her place. She told Evelyn that her vagina was loose, and she is known as industry pussy. Everybody knows this of her. She was just saying some things that people thought but never actually said to her face.
How does she know Evelyn's pussy's loose?
Because of how much people went in and out of it.
How does she know how much people went in and out of it?
Well, I think some of it is a bit public knowledge.
Well, I don't know Evelyn's background in her history.
I don't think I'd ever take up for her promiscuity. I really don't care about that.
I don't know about it. I'm not going to defend that. But for me, the main thing is you can't use colorism to defend the fact that people think you're ugly. You can't blame it on your skin complexion, because there's plenty of cute dark-skinned girls out there, and there's the majority of the better-looking girls on the show are dark-skinned. I'm not hating on the light-skinned girls or any, but the rest of the show. But and truly,
you did not just go there.
Kristen, that's her name, isn't
it? Kristen,
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that's her. I really like her.
It's like nobody ever called Kristen ugly.
But that's why I don't think that it's an ugly thing. I think it has something to do with her aggression. Because, she could be ugly, which she is, and that's an argument on its own. But aside from her ugliness, she's also aggressive. And those two things don't complement each other.
I think the dark-skinnedness is aggression. So if you're dark-skinned, you're aggressive.
In OG's mind, I think that's how she computes it.
Either way, it doesn't work, because Kristen's not aggressive or looked at as aggressive, and Malaysia's not aggressive or looked at as aggressive.
Yeah.
Nor is Jennifer, although they don't like Jennifer and they say she's a bitch and she's this and that. They don't look at her as she's aggressive. Those girls are the brown-skinned, the dark-skinned women on the panel. So it's like, how many women are on the show? And
there was no accountability on her part.
4 dark-skinned women on the show, and you say it's colorism. Under what? Like, I don't understand.
I think there was no accountability on her part in seeing all the things that she did and how she was. Considering that, I feel that you are a professional and trained fighter or whatever you are, around regular women, I would think that you would want to dial back your aggression because you know that you're above everything. Now, she did say on it, you people are beneath me. Like, I'm better than you guys. I don't even have to get all this fake shit that you guys had to get. You guys want to have my body. That's what you guys get surgery. Like, she was going in on all of them.
Whose body?
OG's body. Well, I think her body is quite fit.
She's deezed.
Okay, I know you don't like these things.
No,
but her
dude
body is
really
nice.
No dude wants a girl built like that.
What's her man named? Kwame or likes it. And
Kwame,
he's a cuck ass
let's
nigga
talk about Kwame,
who is okay with his girl texting other nigga, "Oh, Chad baby."
Chatty Boo.
Oh, or
Chatty
whatever.
Boo. Yeah, she was like Chatty Boo or something. Whatever the fuck
whatever
she said.
Whatever the fuck it was.
She's in Chad Ochocinco's DMs trying to get the dick in any type of possible way
while
she can.
While in her man's bed.
While with her man, and her man's taken up for it. Oh, I knew it. You knew it then. You cuck. What the fuck? Who is this guy? Who is this Kwame guy?
I really think they cut out and edited out a lot of shit that he was saying, because on the previews he was talking a lot more than what was actually said in part 2.
You can't trust these reality shows, but at the end of the day, why are you even there sitting on the couch when your girl's in the next man's DMs talking about Chatty Boo? Thirsty for an ex-man while in a relationship, and you're still there. What kind of cuck city is going on in the show?
I'm gonna have to give it to OG for being so beat, but having such a strong confidence. I'm not too sure where she gets that from. She said that she's your favorite athlete's favorite athlete. So whoever your favorite athlete is, that favorite athlete has her as their favorite athlete. That's just talking.
Nobody likes that girl. She's clearly
I didn't even know
like,
who she was.
Fuck? No, but for her to say that, that's just her trying to be witty and clever. Like, nobody knows. First of all, nobody knows who you are, and if people know who you are, nobody's thinking you're cute like that.
I'm dead.
Like, she looks like Diddy Kong from Donkey Kong. The little, you know, that's what she looks like.
I'm dead.
I don't know, man. She can't try to. For me, I feel like she was trying to say that people were calling her ugly and try to say that was the colorism shit, because that is just the most outrageous bullshit
no, I think
in the
it was
world.
Just her attitude. She has a nasty and aggressive attitude, and it's okay to have a problem with all these women, but making these threats is what makes you aggressive. I feel like if you're gonna beat their ass, just do it and done. But when you do premeditated shit, I'm gonna punch her in her jaw, or I'm gonna do this, that's when you take it to that next level. That's just how I feel.
And when
I hope she doesn't come back.
Evelyn was trying to chase down the Asian girl to try to like get some words with her, or try to throw some fists, or whatever the fuck she was trying to do.
Yeah.
She like body checked her to the ground.
Yes.
And you know,
that poor Evelyn. Evelyn didn't even want to start a fight with her because she knew that her ass would have been taken.
Yeah, but Malaysia vehemently believes that she can take what's her face?
Yeah. Because sometimes it's not about how, like, yeah, you can be doing tackles. When it comes to a fight, it's a complete different thing, and it's a lot different.
Of course,
there are things that you don't account for that you can't do on a professional football field that you can't do.
Definitely a different thing, but the aggression and her power from the football field will help translate in the fight. In Malaysia, fell over trying to do a cartwheel. She couldn't even touch the ground.
Malaysia probably would not win in a fight with OG, and I'm only talking because I know how working out that is, and even just working out alone in the natural strength that you have.
I don't know about that. For me, I have to see someone fight, because when people think, oh, working out, I'm gonna get D's like LT and I'm be strong. It doesn't mean
like, no, okay, but wait. But then we're going into another problem. Just because you're D's does not mean that you're strong. I strongly believe that.
Look what happened to Fuzi. Fuzi's like, I'm gonna get D's. I'm gonna spend all this time in the
but
gym.
Babe,
Fuzi got pieced
people
up
that
by
are actually people that are actually in the gym, we know how it works. There are ways to go into work out where you can make yourself look more strong than you are, but there's actual ways to work out to get that core strength. You may not look it, but you have the strength. A lot of people do the surface shit.
At the end of the day, being physically fit and strong physically, having good cardio helps translate in a fight, as long as you learn how to fight, because learning how to fight is essential. You can't just get strong and deezed and be in the gym and think you know how to fight.
Well, she knows how to body bitches.
You might know how to body bitch, but that might not be useful when a bitch has your fucking hair and she's
that's what I'm trying to say.
So I'm like,
that's exactly where I'm going with it.
So we never know. I never seen Malaysia fight. I never seen OG fight.
But there's only amount of grabbing hair that you can do, even so, with a weaker bitch, that I could tell. Like, my hands are for OG for that one. I think that she would win if it comes to that in Malaysia.
Yeah. I think
fat doesn't do anything good for you, and it only slows you down. So even as much as she can want to grab hair, you can grab as much as you want when there's natural strength. It's just like me trying to play fight with you, and I can try as much shit as I want to try, but overall, naturally, you're just stronger than me, and it's just not.
It's not even just about strength, though. I know how to fight. I'm a man.
Yeah, but you don't even have to use technique with me all the time. Okay, but that's fine. But what I'm saying is, OG is very strong. OG could be like out of the realm of a. When you work out, there are different levels to this shit. I don't think Malaysia is anywhere near there. It could be like a me to you to OG to Malaysia, if you get what I'm saying.
No, you can't say that. You definitely. The reason why you can't say that, it's insulting, first of all, to me, because the level between me and you is way more vast. First of all,
it was just an analogy, babe.
No, and then it's disrespectful to men and women, because you have somebody that doesn't know how to fight at all become a fucking transgender woman and go into a fucking women's MMA and start fucking up.
That's what I'm saying. You're proving my point with that comment.
What, that OG will be able to fuck her
just
up?
by natural strength that she has.
I'm just saying, a man, and it doesn't matter how much you work out. You could be a strong woman. You're nothing compared to a man.
Okay, that's fine, but Malaysia doesn't even work out at all, and OG does. So what I'm saying is, I think that OG would take her.
I don't know how much Malaysia could squat.
I don't think she can. When you're fat, you don't know what fat does to you because you've never been fat to understand.
How fat is Malaysia? And I was
when
fat.
you have extra meat on your body, babe, there's a complete difference between how I thought I was to now.
Everybody,
you're not telling
if you're on YouTube, pause this and Google Google J Rich featuring LT. I'm on one. I was fat at one point. I was chunky. I was fat as shit in that video.
Gosh.
In that music video, I was fat as shit. That was like 7-8 years ago, but I was chunky as shit in that video. So I know what it's like to have some sort of chub on you and some sort of pudge on you. Back to your point.
Because you're irregular. That you don't work out and you stay the way that you are. I think you lose touch with us regular people that actually have to work out and just to get somewhere. So, like, I've been on the fat spectrum and I've been on the smaller spectrum, okay? And I could tell there's a huge difference. So, by that notion, it's like my fat self, which is... That sounds so horrible.
How fat is Malaysia, though?
Malaysia's really, really thick.
Listen, she's thick, but it's for me, I feel like it's
fat.
It's compared to where she was before is the reason why she looks thick in our eyes. And how thick is she really? Because she's not Jackie Christie. She can still wear, like...
Because she shapes it well,
like, you know,
1,000%. She's still.
So she's thick. She's just thick for how.
When somebody doesn't work, oh my god. Okay, fat is the wrong choice of word. Malaysia is definitely not fat. She's just really, really thick right now, and with that thickness, it comes with no exercise. I'm going. You know what? Let me not say that because it just sounds like if I'm body shaming Malaysia, and I love her, so I don't want it to come across wrong. But what I'm just saying is I just think OG could take Malaysia, although I'd be on Malaysia's side all the way. And it'd be great to see her drag her, but I don't know. I think OG's a different kind of beast.
For me, appearance-wise and just knowing that she plays football and she's strong and everything, I understand your logic, but I just seen Butterbean and Andy Ruiz just piece up fucking... action figure Anthony Joshua looking decent shit. Doesn't matter. Like certain things don't, like, for me, if I haven't seen someone fight,
I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
I don't know.
That's true. If you haven't seen someone fight,
I don't know what OG's like.
You've never been out of shape to understand. Even just not working out for a little while and what that does to you, and even. You know what, babe? I'm just going to leave this one because there's no way in me explaining it without sounding like an asshole.
Because you're trying to say Malaysia's at that level of out of shapeness. But
no, she probably did work out at a strong point in her life. I'm just saying right now she might be a little bit down. As we all get at some points in our life. So no dicks towards her because I've been down. It wasn't too long ago that I was down. But then again, you also can't project. So I won't project my thoughts on her either.
Okay.
So that was my tiff for the whole thing and how actual people were taking it seriously and actually thinking that Shawnee had colorism issues. And who's Shawnee's man? Ex-man.
Shaquille O'Neal.
And how block is he? Like, okay, well then.
I just feel like that was just an excuse. It's just ridiculous. You can't say... The only way you could say it was a colorism issue is if you were the only dark-skinned woman on the panel and you were being mistreated. And then you start thinking that way. If the other dark-skinned women on the panel are being treated well and they're having their own storyline and they're not having that type of drama, then no one's getting kicked off. No one's being separated. Even someone like Jennifer, who is a snake, someone that like Jennifer, who Shawnee herself did not like because she felt like she was lying on her name and her friend. Mm-hmm. She was clearly allowed still on the guest panel. She wasn't blocked from being there. All the shit she talked, all the lies she spread, they didn't feel like she was a risk to anybody's safety. So she was allowed there. So for her it's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. So I don't think that okay, so for the next season, I'm just putting this out there. I don't think OG might be back just because she pulled this stunt and they have to prove something. But I'm hoping that they go beyond that and still don't put her back on the show.
I hope they
and
don't
I don't
put
think Jennifer will
anybody.
be back
I
either.
hope they don't put anybody that's not an actual basketball wife on the show. These irrelevant people, like
Well, Jennifer is no longer
if
with
your
anyone.
husband is a guy that hasn't even made the NBA, he's been playing overseas trying to make the league.
Hold on.
And he's a cuck. Why are you on the show?
Are you talking about Kwame?
I don't know anything about him. I don't know his last name. I don't know if he ever played on the NBA roster. I just keep hearing, "Oh, I'm trying to make a team. I'm playing overseas." Who are you?
Yeah, I don't know how she got on. I don't know how she got on the show. I hope that she doesn't return. And then the one more person that I don't care for that doesn't have to return, but she sneaked her way out of there was that Asian one. I forgot her name.
Oh, Byron Scott's girl.
Yeah.
Well, Byron Scott's been retired for a long time. He's been coaching for a long time. He's been an NBA analyst for a long time. I feel like the relevancy of Byron Scott is the reason why they want her on the show. But at the end of the day, she doesn't add anything, and she's
going to stay on the show.
She has that opposing value where she's always on the opposition, but she's not. Well, near the end of the season, it felt like she grew some balls. But prior to that, I felt like she was a pussy half the time. She would say stuff, and then I think she grew some balls
because she had OG beside her, and she knew that OG would protect her, so she could start talking her shit.
She had a squad.
Yeah,
she had her squad.
So
she
could
OG,
talk more.
Jackie.
I think she's the same person as she was in the beginning. I think she's scared. She won't say something if she feels like there's too much people around her that will oppose her. The only reason why she had a backbone as of lately is because she know OG is her ride or die. Don't you see her bulldozering over people for her? So anyways, it'd be interesting to see. A little side note, because I don't want to take this all over, is that the Real Housewives of Atlanta is back, and Kenya Moore is back.
Okay.
You don't care.
I don't know anything. I don't know what's going on.
Well, Kenya Moore is back, and her and Portia are actually friends now, so I find that kind of odd. Because their babies are around the same age. Oh, and then I have to show you a pic. Okay. Of Portia.
What happened to Portia?
It was with her husband. It seemed very recent with her best friend. You know, the other dark skinned girl that I think is pretty. And their husband, and how they were like acting like they were so like they were teens again, dancing with their husband. It was very refreshing. I really liked it.
So it's a video, not a picture.
It's a video. Yes.
Oh, okay.
They have pictures as well.
I thought it was like a picture of someone looking gross or something.
No, just two hot girls whining on their husbands. It was very refreshing. Okay. Well, I think that was my main thing that I had to bring up, and that was it. I didn't really have much.
All right. Yeah. Man, I actually have to really double up with these episodes because I'm behind, and I'm really trying to catch In Godfrey We Trust, because I don't know when the fuck this guy has more episodes than me, but he's at like episode 67 and shit. So I'm really, really gonna try to almost force these episodes out of here. So I'll wrap this one up. We got a good 40 minutes under on this one, so this is more of a dolo one. Although you were on the mic, you're not on the camera, so this is still
I'm with you in spirit.
This is a solo podcast, and solo podcasts for me run up about half an hour, 20 minutes on a bad day, 40 minutes on a good day. So I guess this would be a good day on a solo, but this is counted as a solo. So yeah, no guest on it. We have Tee2Lovely on the board, of course, but at the end of the day, you're not on the camera, babe. So
listen, ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. All right. It's been Blunt Talk with LT. Let's see if I have anything else that I want to rant on before we get the fuck out of here. I hope everybody's enjoying their trash ass week. It's Monday. Monday suck. Fuck Monday. If you're working a 9-to-5 job, God help you. Unless you like your job and you like your occupation, of course. If you are trying to make
most
it
people don't.
Most people don't. I know. Well, I just feel like. Let me give some good energy to the people before I log off. If you are trying to make it somewhere, just understand that consistency is key. Continue what you're doing. Keep your head up. Fuck haters. Tell them to suck your nuts.
I like that.
That's about it. That's all we got. Blunt Talk with LT. Episode, who the fuck cares? We out. Yerp.